Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to our English class. Hope you are doing well. Let's enhance our reading skills today. Our lesson is reading Unit 7A, student book pages 86, 87. So, let's start. Let's start with the objectives. Today we have 4 objectives. Number 1, to identify the type and the purpose of the text after skimming it. Number 2, to examine the text to answer 6 comprehension questions. 3. To infer the meaning of 10 vocabulary using context clues. And finally, to create a different ending to a given story. And now, let's discuss some ideas about science fiction stories. And as you know that science fiction stories contain imagined elements that do not exist in our real world, such as time machines and traveling to the future, or different ways of space traveling. So let's discuss these questions together. Have you ever read science fiction stories before? Have you read any of Jules Verne's adventure novels such as Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or Around the World in 80 Days? Do you think any of these ideas may one day become real? Please pause the video for a while and try to find out the answers. Our story for today is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And here are some words I would like you to know their meanings before we start. The word league is a term used in older times as a measure of distance on land or at sea, and it equals 5.6 kilometers. The word monsieur is used as a form of polite address for a man in a French-speaking area. And now let's start. And now let's go to your student book, page 86, exercise B. Skim the text to answer the following questions. Question number 1, what is the type of the text? Question number 2, what type of story is it? Question number 3, where did the events of the scene take place? And as you know that the word skim means to read the text quickly. And now please pause the video for a minute, skim the text and answer the questions. Now let's answer together. What is the type of the text? That's correct. It's an extract from a story. So this text is a narrative text. The purpose of this text is to tell or to narrate a story. What type of a story is it? Is it a drama story? Is it a tragedy story? No. So it is a science fiction story. Where did the events of the scene take place? You can know that even from the picture. That's correct. It took place in the sea on board of a submarine. And now let's go to your student book, page 87, exercise D. Scan to answer. And here you are going to read the text carefully to answer these questions. Choose A, B, C, or D. Underline the parts of the text where you found the answers. And it means here that you are asked to underline the evidence that refers to the answer. Now let's start with question number 1. Who is narrating the story? And remember here that in each question we have a keyword that helps us find the answer. So what is the keyword in question number 1? Can you say it? That's correct. It is narrating. So the question here is asking about the narrator of the story. Question number 2. After getting over his initial fear, what did the narrator want to do? Now please pause the video for a while, try to find out the answer, and don't forget to underline the parts of the text where you found the answers. And now, let's answer together. Question number 1. Who is narrating this story? That's right. He is a marine biologist. And how did you know that from the text? Great! He said, I overcome my horror and took out my sketchbook. This was an excellent opportunity for a marine biologist. And now question number 2. After getting over his initial fear, what did the narrator want to do? So, the correct answer is to draw the sea monster. How did you know that? Because he said here, I overcome my horror and took out my sketchbook. And taking the sketchbook refers that the narrator of the story wanted to draw the sea monster. Question 3. Why did the Nautilus stop? So here he is asking about the reason. Question number 4. Why did the captain order the Nautilus to rise to the surface? Now, pause the video for a while, try to find the answer and underline the evidence from the text. Welcome back. Let's answer together. Why did the Nautilus stop? That's correct, because a squid had caused an engine problem. So how did you know that from the text? Here, when Monsieur Aronnax asked Captain Nemo, Captain Nemo said that I think one of the giant squid is entangled in the propeller. So, question 4. Why did the captain order the Nautilus to rise to the surface? So the correct answer is so they could fight the squid. So where is the evidence from the text? It's here. We are going to fight them man to beast, he said. Question 5. Which of the following is true? Now read these 4 options and find out which one is true. Question 6. What happened to the sailor trapped in the squid's tentacle? Pause the video for a while. Try to find the answer. And now let's answer together. Which of the following is true? So, that's correct. Captain Nemo opened the door of the Nautilus. So, where is the evidence from the text? It's here. Captain Nemo gave the order to rise to the surface. Oh. And also, as soon as one of the sailors at the top of the ladder opened the door, it was pulled off with great force. Now, question number 6. What happened to the sailor trapped? That's correct. He was dragged into the sea. So, here is the evidence. What a scene! By the time I got outside, one of the beasts had grabbed the sailor with its tentacle and was throwing him around like a feather. He struggled, but it was no good. And now this is the vocabulary time. Let's go to your student book, page 87, exercise D. Look at the highlighted words in the text and match them with their meanings from A to J. Check your answers in a dictionary. Then use these words to make sentences of your own. Remember here, to know the meaning of an unfamiliar word in a text, you have to use context clues. And as you know that, context clues are hints found in a sentence or a paragraph that you can use to understand the meaning of new or unfamiliar words. So, for example, the word companion. What do you think the word companion means? To know the meaning, you have to read the sentences before it and after it. So, I looked out of the window of the Nautilus and saw what my companion Ned Land was staring at. You can find out here that the narrator and Ned Land are at the same time in the same place, and the narrator knows his name. He said, "My companion." So, the word companion means, Can you say the answer? That's correct. It's D. Somebody that you spend a lot of time with because you are friends or are traveling together. Let's go to another example, which is myth. Before my eyes was a sea monster worthy of myth and legend. And here, the word legend refers or helps me know the meaning of the word myth. Now pause the video, try to find out the meaning of the word myth. So, that's correct. It is G, something that many people believe but which is not true. The same as legend. So, let's go to the third word, which is oversized. Please read the sentences well, try to find out the meaning of the rest of the words, and then we will discuss the answers together. Welcome back. Let's answer together. The word oversized means, that's right, bigger than usual. Overcome means to successfully control a feeling, like I overcome my horror and took out my sketchbook. So, the word overcome means to successfully control a feeling. 5. Over here. Can you say the answer? That's correct. It's H. To hear something by accident or without the speaker knowing it. Let's go to number 6. The word grab. Can you think of the answer? That's correct. Grab means to take or hold something with your hand in a sudden and violent way. Struggle. To kick and fight so that you can escape from somebody or something. The word blind. Can you say the answer? That's correct. It's A, to make it hard or impossible for somebody to see. Number 9, to attack means to use violence to hurt somebody or damage a place. And finally, the word gaze, which means to look at somebody or something for a long time or to stare. Now, I want you to pause the video. Try to put these words in sentences of your own. And now let's go to another activity in your student book, page 87, exercise E. Let's answer the following questions together. What does the writer mean by the phrase, a sea monster worthy of myth and legend? How would you describe Captain Nemo? Which incidents from the story justify your answer? Please pause the video for a while. Try to write down the answers of these questions. Now, let's answer together. What does the writer mean by the phrase, a sea monster worthy of myth and legend? Does it mean that this monster or this creature is a normal or familiar one? No, that's correct. So, it means that it didn't look like an ordinary animal. It looked like a mythical creature due to its size and appearance. Question 2. How would you describe Captain Nemo? And which incidents from the story justify your answers? So, we might say, I think that Captain Nemo is a brave man who cares about the sailors. So why do you think that? Because we understand that by the fact that he fights against the squid along with the other men, and that he rushes to save Ned Land, the narrator's companion, after a squid knocks him over. And now, let's sum up all the events that came in the extract. I want you to summarize the story using your own language. And remember that when we summarize a story, we only focus on the main events of this story. Now please pause the video for a while and start writing down your summary. So, welcome back. One of the possible answers is to say, Aronnax and his friend Ned Land are on the Nautilus when a giant squid gets caught in the propeller and a battle between the men and a number of squids begins. All the men take part in the battle with Captain Nemo being the bravest of all, cutting the tentacle of a squid and saving the life of Aronnax's friend. Unfortunately, one squid grabs one of the men and pulls him to the sea. And now, can you think of another ending to the story extract? Please use your imagination to write down another ending. Now pause the video for a while and start writing. Here is one of the possible answers. We can say that finally, after hours of fighting, the crew of the Nautilus managed to kill one of the squid and keep one of its tentacles as a trophy.